Hello, this is Mugetsu, and here we are with the Mega Man XOD stream. I know I started later. I'm sorry about that. I literally just came back home. I had to run to the pharmacy. Okay, just give me one moment to do the usual. Let me grab the link. Hello, BD. Welcome. Yeah, Kings first. Damn, you beat Roundcat and TC Korea and Uganda. They are usually the guys that join quickly. Yeah, Roundcat. I had heard about this. I think it's a Nova, but I had never gotten to watch it. I knew some things of it. I mean, prior to watching it, but I hadn't watched it in full. Well, I'm not sure if that is like the full OVA or if that is like a segment. But you know what? It was cool to see the cast of Street Fighter, looking cool because I legit have no idea what the hell happened in Street Fighter 5 and even less so in Street Fighter 6. Well, I think that you know me. I'm not really a fan of retcons, but in this case, I kind of understand why they did it. It's kind of like a reference to the movie from the 90s, where Ryu and Ken fought Bison and they defeated him together. And also, Guile, Edmond Honda. I don't know who else was in that final battle. So, having Kami and Chun Li. I mean, I get the reference, but I mean, Guy was also there. I would have liked to see Charlie too, to be honest. But that would have been Street Fighter Alpha. Yeah, Ganda. I just filled a pitcher full of water and put it in the fridge. Also, the animation quality of the Street Fighter animation, it's pretty good. I mean, it looks kind of modern, but it's like quality modern stuff because I have seen some other stuff and the animation leaves things to be desired. It's not the full OVA, but a teaser to our Street Fighter 4. Hmm. Yeah, I had some bits. I just didn't know how long the full thing was supposed to be. I have never eaten cashews, Ogana Hater. I know what they are, but I have never really eaten them. Let me tell you that I'm not much of a nut person. I mean, I have. I'm not sure if actually now that I think about it, I may have tried cashews because I remember that I have been given, you know, uh, that kind of food to taste, but I found them too salty. I'm not a fan of excessive salt. I like salt, in the right proportion. They were very salty, so yeah. Well, understandable. My father is a big fan of many kinds of nuts, so yeah. I'm not sure about the names in English because his preferred ones are what we call nueces de la India, Indian nuts, but that's probably not the correct name in English. I don't know if it's actually cashews or if it's something else. Okay, let's start the match. Hello, LNX, and welcome, Ashante. Charlie in Alpha 3 is in canon. That hurts my soul. That really hurts my soul. I used to think that all of the Street Fighter Alpha games were kinda canon. You know, like the Street Fighter Alpha 2 was like a retcon of Street Fighter Alpha 1, and Street Fighter Alpha 3, well, either it happened after or it was a retcon of 2. Damn, but I really would have liked to see the final, well, not the final battle, you know, but the battle between Guile and Bison. Guile, Charlie, and Bison. Charlie is actually one of my characters, one of my favorite characters from the Street Fighter Alpha. And it was sad for me that they did him dirty in Street Fighter 5. Because he was as close as one can get in Street Fighter to a hero of justice. In Street Fighter 5, when they flash back to Charlie's first death, it shows him falling off the waterfalls in Alpha 2. Okay, so that's the canon one, but at the same time, damn. I mean, if he was gonna come back, there were better ways to go about it than whatever they did in Street Fighter 5. I did not like it. Alpha 1 is in canon, Alpha 2 overwrites it, and Alpha 3 takes place 2 years after Alpha 2. You know, when I was younger, I kept up better with the Street Fighter lore. But I think I mentioned it that starting with Street Fighter 3, I started to get disconnected from the franchise. So I know that when I was younger, I knew my lore better, but now it's kind of hazy in my memory. Also, hello Fight Hyper, welcome. But in any case, my original point stands that I would have liked to see both Charlie and Guile fight together against Bison, even if they didn't fully kill him, but at least get close. You know, I was thinking of something like the Street Fighter movie from the 90s, but instead of Ryu and Ken, Guile and Charlie. That would be awesome, in my opinion. I think also Chun-Li was there. I don't mind her, so... But yeah, for all the good lore that Charlie had, I feel like he was underused. He's a great character, and he didn't get much of a chance to shine. I mean, they brought him back in Street Fighter V, but kinda wrong. And I had been so hyped when in Street Fighter 4, I think Abel told Guile that he had seen someone do the Sonic Boom, and I was like, what the hell? Charlie's still alive? I agree, I'm gonna hate her. You know, it's funny because I feel like Charlie is the character that could very well be the protagonist, but it was his misfortune that he's not the actual protagonist. Such wasted potential, damn it. That does hurt my soul, the wasted potential. At least we enjoyed him in the Street Fighter Alpha. Also, you know, there's the cheesy Street Fighter movie, the live action one that, you know, it's probably cringe for many, but you know what, it's kind of memorable, even if it's in a meme way. Raul Julia kills it as Bison. And there are so many iconic phrases, you know, like that, but to me, it was Tuesday. Also, I think that was the first instance where they gave Ryu a last name, because in that movie he's called Ryu Hoshi, and I remember that my friends and I had many debates, because the consensus was that Ryu had no surname, because, you know, he's basically an orphan, a vagabond, so we have no idea who are his parents. But then in the movie they gave him a surname, and for way too long we debated whether or not that movie was canon. I mean, we were kids. I wasn't aware of the many things that I know now. Also, the idea that the movie had was actually interesting, that they fused Charlie and Blanca into one character. You know, I don't even mind. I know that that's not the actual canon, but, you know, kudos for originality, you know, because the idea that Bison captured him and tried to turn him into a beast, you know, to be a sort of super soldier, it works for me. I mean, it's kind of cool. And the best part of that is that for Mugen, someone actually went and made that character. He's called Carlos Blanca. You can still download him for Mugen if you know how to do that. He's pretty cool. He has like a more OP version of Charlie's moves. But also, it's Carlos Blanca before he becomes Blanca, so he doesn't have like Blanca's powers quite yet. But still, you know, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I know that he was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. He was a striker, a shadow in Marvel vs. Capcom 1. He was playable in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, I think. And normal Charlie was playable in X-Men vs. Street Fighter, so there's also that. I think that's why people don't really take fighting games seriously, because most of the time what takes place in the games isn't canon until the next game confirms what and what isn't. I do have a gripe with that kind of thing. It didn't quite discourage me from, liking Street Fighter, but it did annoy me. I think Abel was talking about Seth when he saw someone do the Sonic Boom. I know that is the actual explanation, but that was such a big disappointment because I know that I wasn't the only person who was thinking, you know what, that Charlie actually survived and was, laying low in the jungle, and maybe he was biding his time to strike back at Bison or something. I know it was a wild theory, but it was better than, the lame truth. Oh yeah, I saw someone do the Sonic Boom. And it was this guy that copies moves of other people. I mean, like, bruh, come on. Of all the possible explanations, they had to go with the lamest one. There is a character named Sawara in that movie too. Capcom doesn't like giving last names to their character for some reasons. And the other reason Ken has his last name is because Mattel took a lawsuit because he looked like Barbie's Ken. I never related the Street Fighter's Ken to Barbie's. Like, they don't even look similar. Especially not the alpha version. And Capcom chose Masters as Ken's last name as a tongue-in-cheek reference to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That's actually clever. And you know what? He does resemble a little bit Prince Adam. So, that is actually way more valid than the bullshit about... the bullshit about Barbie. The trap worked. that would explain why Abel didn't want to tell Guile who he saw do the sonic boom. Huh. Again, with my theory about Charlie being alive, my assumption was that Abel didn't want to tell Guile because maybe Charlie told him not to reveal the fact that he's still alive to anyone. You know, because considering that Bison considers him to be dead and that he's a single man trying to fight the entirety of Shadaloo, it makes sense that he would want to lay low until the time was right. So you see, the worst part is that these theories actually make sense. So it's not just like some wild bullshit, like real life conspiracy theories. This is actually believable. I love doing that. By the way, I didn't copy this from anyone. I came up with it on my own. You know, because I saw, the magnet mines are OP. And, but enemies have to be dumb enough to step on them. So, what if I force them to step on them? And there's a strike chain and, I basically go, get over here. I have no idea, Ogana either. I don't remember anyone using this combo, but I love it. Also because Strike Chain, even on its own, is pretty useful in capture the flag, precisely because it can let you drag the enemy back to prevent them from taking the flag away. Ah, god damn it. Some people think that the Battle Network Gacha is coming since there was a BN promotion in the Capcom Cafe with new official art. I have heard about it, but again, I personally couldn't care less about Battle Network, so even if there is a gacha, I am not touching that with a 3-meter stick. To me, that is not Mega Man. I will not accept it as a proper Mega Man. That's probably going to be the only new Mega Man thing this year, since it seems that Capcom has no confidence in Mega Man console games selling well anymore. I know, but at the same time, you know what? Even if it's on a minimal scale, I personally want to send the message that if you're just gonna give us Battle Network, to the Mega Man fandom, you might as well give us nothing. That is the message that I want to send, at least on a personal level. You know what? We have this perception, I don't know if it's, from Latin America or more universal, but if you're going to do something, do it right. We also have a phrase, but that is a very Mexican phrase that we say, nos quieren dar atole con el dedo. That's what... it's kind of weird to explain, because it means, like, they want to give us atole with the finger. And the explanation for that phrase is that... okay, explaining that in English. It's gonna take some thought. Okay, but the idea is that atole is a Mexican drink. It's kind of like a weird milk-like thing, but it's not quite milk. Instead, it's made with corn. But the point is that the idea of the phrase atole con el dedo, atole with the finger, means, like they are basically trying to give us bullshit in place of an actual thing. In this case, a bullshit Mega Man game instead of an actual Mega Man game. Because even X-Dive at least was freaking Mega Man X. Yeah, in a nutshell, that's it. The idea is that they're basically trying to give us bullshit instead of something proper. Band Network makes money though. It's the most consistently profitable sub-series of Mega Man. The one that is the least like the original is the one that makes money. That's only sad. Only way Capcom will listen is through sales numbers. I know, and that is a sad reality that we're probably never gonna get any other Mega Man X or Mega Man Zero games. But you know what? Even if we never get any of those anymore, well, Mega Man Zero we can't. But even if we can never get any other Mega Man X game, I refuse to accept the bullshit that is Battle Network. I will stick with fan games and ROM hacks if I have to, but Battle Network never. And the same goes for Star Force for that matter, but I know that one is already there, so I don't even have to worry. This tells me I probably wouldn't last very long in the world of the Lion King. I'm not good with cliffs and precipices. You know, it's kind of a bittersweet note. At least, Mega Man Zero was the one saga that managed to reach an ending. I mean, an ending that makes sense, because as far as we know, the X saga is inconclusive, and so is Classic. I don't know about ZX, to be honest. I know that also Legends was left hanging. Hello, this is Korea. Yes, I mean, I literally started with the X series. That is no surprise. The first Mega Man games I played, I mean, the first Mega Man game I played was Mega Man X1 when I was in kindergarten. Soon after, I got Mega Man X2, and I already mentioned my history with X3. So, yeah. I'm a Mega Man X fan at heart. I do enjoy Mega Man Zero to some extent, and I don't really mind CX as much. I don't really have much of an opinion on Legends because I haven't played it, but I don't really like Battle Network or Star Force because those are way too far. I mean, they are too far away from the original concept of Mega Man. And the fact that that is the franchise that succeeded, I'm kind of bitter about that. Not gonna deny it. I don't like it. That the least one, like the original, is the one that succeeds. That's just like spitting in my face. CX Advent left on a cliffhanger, and Integrates did confirm on a stream that they were working on a third CX game, but it got cancelled due to Advent's slow sales. I was aware of that, but I wasn't aware of the ending. I know this in Korea, but the mines are cool to defend the flag. I haven't watched that one yet, Ronga. By the way, sorry I haven't kept up with the chat. I was reading some of the stuff. If it makes you feel any better, the teens of today did way better than the teens of 8 years ago. One of them even killed Metal Man. By the way, Korea, yes, I read your comment. It's interesting that we are all united by liking Mega Man, but we like different sagas best. You know, considering that it's Mega Man XOD, I did assume that most people were because of Mega Man X. Most X fans are classic fans first. Well, I know, I'm kind of an exception. I never expect the fandom to be exactly like I am. Also, a lot of the people that I know that enjoy Mega Man X are more vocal about Mega Man Zero. I do have some grievances with the saga, but I still enjoy it. Understandable. Well, you guys know that I was born in 1991. That has never been a secret. Classic is the most popular in America though by far. It had 3 cartoons made about it. Granted, one of those is fully charged. Mega Man in Smash is also the only Mega Man most people know about. That is so sad too. First time I've ever seen Mega Man in some way or other form, classics. I mean, I think that most people have seen classic Mega Man at one point. Well, at least not counting the latest generations. That's probably why those teens were more familiar with Mega Man than the ones from 9 years ago. Huh, interesting. You know, with how some things are, you know, kind of like cyclical, that they go out of fashion and then come back. Maybe Mega Man will come back in the future, but there aren't many hopes for it. And if it's Battle Network, count me out, because I can't endorse that one. Alright guys, I know that the stream today was a little shorter, but I wasn't able to start it earlier. Still, it was fine, 1 hour and a half, so... If it's the X series, I mean, of course. Anything that is the X series that is not directly based on X6 or X7, I welcome. You know, Roundcat, I would say that with the way things look, yeah, we would say that the chances are slim to none. But you never know, and I mean, we never know what turns and twists life takes. But you know, realistically speaking, if Mega Man ever comes back into, you know, the attention of the collective consciousness of the internet, it's most likely gonna be because of some outstanding fan project, because Capcom is doing jack with Mega Man. Now, if the fan project gets enough attention, maybe that will get Capcom to do something, but yeah, I know that's wishful thinking, but hey, dreaming is free. Dreaming costs nothing. I don't really dislike X5. I feel like it's a good game that was made mediocre in some ways just because it was rushed. Like, it had all the elements to be a good game. It's just some clunky mechanics that were they clearly didn't have enough playtesting, to actually see how they work. So I don't even dislike X5. Yeah, I know. I like X1 to X5 at the very least. X6 is garbage. X7 is even worse garbage. My opinion on X8 is still pending because I haven't played that game in full. And I do enjoy Command Mission even though it has some things. So yeah, I think that most Mega Man X games are actually decent. With only two glaring exceptions. We'll see about that, Roncat. We'll see about that. I don't even mind it because you know what? Even with when Mega Man X5 has some less than ideal level design, it's nowhere near as bad as X6, and it's nowhere near as bad as the bullshit that Mega Man 9 or 10 had. So, you know what? If Mega Man X5 is bad design for Mega Man X standards, I'll take it. I'll take it a million times over anything from X6, X7, or the bullshit Mega Man games. That's kind of funny because that's precisely what I want to do, Wrong Cat, because there is an amazing ROM hack that came into attention like a year ago, but it kind of went under the radar. It's a drastic improvement of about everything that was wrong with Mega Man X5, and I mean it's a much more enjoyable experience. That's not gonna stop me from playing the canon version, but for some variation, I will probably play the ROM hack and later the original. I mean, also with Mega Man X3, I plan on playing the canon version, but the Zero 3, the Zero project is so enjoyable, and you can actually play both story modes as X and Zero. So, okay, Elia is annoying. The backtracking, I can deal with it. Again, if X5 were the worst that the Mega Man X saga ever had, I would gladly accept it. But because X6 and X7 are some other level of bullshit, and Mega Man 9 and 10 also, I do have many grievances with those. That's Rose tying the game's influence of X5. X5 is one of the games that caused the downfall of the X series. I mean, I know that. Well, I mean, by what you tell me, that is objectively not as good. But I still find it enjoyable. You know what? Even the canon version, the non-hacked ROM, I still enjoy it mostly. I don't really mind as much. That's not rose tinted. I'm not saying that it's completely good. I'm saying it's more tolerable than the bullshit that other games have. Because even the bad level design or the backtracking, it's like a mild inconvenience at worst. It's nothing compared to X6 horrible level design, and even worse the rescue reploids and the nightmare viruses, or X7 with everything, which was an absolute horror show, or Mega Man 9 and 10 again. Yeah, this one is enjoyable even in its unpolished state. Remember when I told you that when X5 came out, it was called the worst Mega Man game? I wasn't aware of that until you told me, because I was under the assumption that the bar was kinda decent and it was X6 the one that dropped it. Again, I didn't have much contact with the fandom. I didn't have much contact with, like game reviews or that. I was basically on my own enjoying Mega Man X, and I just talked about it with local friends, from real life that I knew. I didn't have much online interaction in terms of the fandom, and that's why my views and my opinions developed in an unusual way, maybe, kind of in isolation, in some ways. So that is why. Don't worry, Ganaide. There is nothing on this earth that will make me completely dislike Mega Man X. I can dislike individual games, that is X6 and X7, but not the saga, not the story, and not the original games, of course. Disney is now about to fall into the same pitfall Capcom fell into as well over saturation of content. That and the fact that they antagonize the fans. Yes, I think that they actually got the playbook of like what not to do as a movie company, and they went and did everything. No, Mega Man was already in decline in popularity with X5 and the X1. That magazine clip where Dr. Lai, where he's about to push the off button on X, that was before X5 came out. I know, I mean, I know, but all of these things I learned way later. Capcom trying to ban the modding community is gonna be a hilarious fight. Yeah, you know what? That's gonna be basically Tom and Jerry. And let me tell you, I have seen many companies play cat and mouse with modders and hackers, and guess what? They never win. Sony fought tooth and nail with the PSP, and the hacking community, you know, they 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 completely wrecked them. They even released like full-blown custom firmwares and stuff far beyond the initial exploits, and Sony was helpless. Again with the PS3, they fought tooth and nail to make it unhackable, even took away the other old OS feature. Nothing ever worked. In the end, people were able to hack, to install homebrew, to pirate games, and even, you know, some people stole critical information. So, also Nintendo failed hilariously with the Wii. I think that the Wii U was kind of more successful in deterring the hackers, but later in its life cycle, it was busted wide open. So again, kind of pointless. The Switch is the one that seems to be better protected because it's really convoluted. If you want to actually hack it, it's really convoluted. But there is a mod chip. I mean, there's a series of mod chips that you can install, so again, you can beat the system. A bit more complicated and a bit more expensive, but you can. And I mean, also, Microsoft with the Xbox and the Xbox 360, yeah, they never won the fight against the hackers. So Capcom right now has no idea what they're getting into. They are gonna lose badly against the modding community. And you know what? The funniest thing in all of this is that if they thought that the Chun-Li incident was the worst that could happen, the hacking and modding community will probably come with something 100 times worse. And that is without even trying, because if they actually try, it's gonna be entire orders of magnitudes worse. I can't even imagine. I just know that this is gonna be hilarious as hell, and it's gonna end up badly for Capcom. And they might lose money over it. You know, that's the tragic part, that when big companies like that lose money, they fire innocent people. So, you know, the big wigs and the big shots, you know, the people that actually come with their horrible ideas almost never face any real consequences to their stupid actions. But that's how it is. Bottom line, who cares what anyone who doesn't play Mega Man has to say about this year. For the record, I do listen to most people's opinions. I only really disregard the opinions of people who are beyond personal reasoning, or people who outright hate me, because why would you listen to people that hate you? But other than that, I do listen to most people. So, Ogana hater, don't be as harsh. I think it's more that the PSP was kind of dead. I don't know about the US. The PSP in Mexico was kind of more alive, but it was mostly motivated by the hacks. A lot of people were getting the PSP so that they could hack it. So they were buying the PSP, maybe the games not so much, because games were already getting expensive. And it wasn't as convenient, you know, to be carrying all those discs around. I think it's more that the Wii U was so unpopular, no one really bothered to hack it much. I mean, I thought that I remember reading that it had some security measures that made it, let's say, its security was stronger than the Wii's, but with enough time and patience, someone busted it open. And they even unlocked the full capabilities, full Wii, GameCube emulation. Some people were even saying that even in 2020, the Wii U was a very effective, a very cost-effective emulation machine because it could do so much, and it had perfect Wii and GameCube emulation on top of many others. Maybe in 2024, yeah, that no longer quite applies, but it was surprising that even in 2020, the Wii U was seen as a decent homebrew machine. They lose more than money. Yeah, TC Korea, I see. They are in a precarious state, and this was not the move. You know what? At this point, I'm just gonna grab popcorn and watch because the dumpsters are gonna lit ablaze, and there's gonna be drama, and there's gonna be funny shenanigans, and might as well just have a laugh. Because in this life, if we can laugh or cry, I think that laughing is probably the better option. The PSP died fast in the US, it thrived more in Japan. Hmm. I think that the PSP kind of thrived in Latin America. Let me tell you that in my locality, I mean in my town, quite a bunch of people had PSP. Like for example, when I was in, I mean the PSP was around when I was in high school, when I was like 16, 17. And out of my classroom that had like 45 people, I mean like half of those were girls. But at least for the guys, of the 20 something guys, at least half of them had a PSP. I am actually, I'm not making that up. I am 100% sure because I almost remember all of their names. I remember like 10 people at least in my classroom alone had a PSP. And in the whole school, well, I didn't get to find out how many, but at least there is an interesting demographic there, even if it's a limited sample size. And again, remember that this is a very backwards town. Technology doesn't arrive easily, and when it does, it's expensive. So the fact that so many people had a PSP does tell you something. Capcom could just make a new Monster Hunter or Resident Evil and make the money back, though. Well, you see that they tried that with Devil May Cry, and it's not going so well. So it depends who makes the game. It depends on who makes the game. Monster Hunter, I feel like it's getting overused and it might flop. Resident Evil, probably they still pull fans, but I feel like it's more like because of fan service, because they're heading in a direction that's not good. The PS Vita was the best and still is. I have heard good things about the PS Vita even in 2024. That is actually pretty good. I mean, a cheap handheld emulation machine, assuming that you cannot afford a Switch. I only knew like 2 people who had a PSP here. Nobody seemed to like it here. Monster Hunter is still making money like crazy. Well, again, we have a phrase in Spanish that says, translated like, even the best hunter can miss a shot. Even the best cook has food that burns sometimes. So even a supposedly perfect franchise like Monster Hunter can fail. Nothing that is man-made is ever exempt from the possibility of failure. So that is something to keep in mind. We are flawed ourselves. Anything that we make is flawed in some way or another. So nothing that is made by people is impervious to failure. Resident Evil is going to stop crackdown on the mods, those, no money. That would be fun, the backpedaling on that one. If Capcom does crack down on mods, the Resident Evil series will fail. Yeah, I can see that. You know what? Even it's, I'll do you one better. If they crack down on the mods on Street Fighter, they're also gonna enrage the Street Fighter fandom, and that's a huge one. You do not want to mess with the Street Fighter fandom. I think Monster Hunter already failed with Monster Hunter Stories on the 3DS. That's like the only Monster Hunter game that didn't sell a million. Yeah, but well, we'll have to wait and see because right now games are getting insanely expensive. Most people don't even have, you know, like a house of their own or a car of their own. Minimum wages are unlivable. So I don't really think that that many people can afford games this generation. And if they keep making them expensive as hell, even less. So I don't think that Monster Hunter will make as much money as they used to. And that's not even accounting for, you know, the actual quality of the game. Because we'll have to wait and see. You heard about the Chun-Li mod controversy at the tournament? Yes. Just to avoid getting in trouble with YouTube, I can't explicitly say what it was about, but yes, I'm aware of the incident. I know what it was about, and it was hilarious. Monster Hunter makes most of money through PC or Switch games. You see, there is an Achilles heel there. If they make money through PC and start banning mods, they might hurt their fan base, a big chunk of it. The Switch one, not so much, but the PC one, yes. And again, they're gonna enrage the wrong people, and it's gonna cost them. How much? I have no idea, but it's gonna cost them. Alright, guys. Okay, I think that was enough rambling. So I'm gonna call it here for the stream tonight. And I'm gonna try to start the stream tomorrow earlier, but there's no guarantee. Because for example today I did have some things to do in real life. It was kind of an emergency. So I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Hopefully nothing. And in that case, you know, probably we'll have like 2-3 hours of stream. Monster Hunter Rise is the Switch game and it sold 13 million. Well, what can I say? But we don't know about the next one. Also, good night, TC Korea, and good night, everyone. Have a good one, and hopefully see you tomorrow on the next stream.